Commander,
Admiral?
are you ready to bring the might of the galaxy to bear on the Reapers?
Yes, sir.
Then let's make sure the fleets are ready.
All fleets reporting in, sir.
Never before have so many come together from all quarters of the galaxy. But never before have we faced an enemy such as this. The Reapers will show us no mercy. We must give them no quarter. They will terrorize our populations. We must stand fast in the face of that terror. They will advance until our last city falls, but we will not fall. We will prevail. Each of us will be defined by our actions in the coming battle. Stand fast. Stand strong. Stand together. Hack it out.
Here we are at the end.
Indeed.
Ready to light this candle?
Let's light this candle.
Well, greetings everyone. Welcome back to another round of Arbitration Studios as we conclude, once and for all, the whole damn thing of the Mass Effect trilogy. It's been a long road getting from there to here. I'm JP Arbiter.
And I'm Captain Jack.
And, we are on Earth. We're in London, and, I really can't tell whether or not there is a war here or not. Can you?
Having spent some time in London? No, I can't.
So, anyway, but it's not a war without our friends, and they are here.
Now, with the best friends.
We have referred to Tali and Garrus as our best friend squad. They were really... That was the joke, too, that got me to expand the professional wrestler theme for all of our big characters beyond Arya. Arya was just Arya was a joke because Arya is just as awesome as Kenny Omega.
It's true.
But everyone else was more like getting a vibe going, and when we start referring to Tali and Garrus as our best friend squad, that's what kind of...
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think in the Mass Effect fan universe, they are referred to as the best friend squad. I think that in general, overall, I think those two, well, I think people will admit they maybe not necessarily are the best. Like, they will say that they are the favorites.
And much like, with Liara being a close second, so, this at the time of recording, this has only recently become a thing. But Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe have this stable called the Conglomeration.
Yes, and
part of their whole video is, or their entrance music video is like a setup of like the 1990s sitcoms,
right?
And featuring Roderick Strong. And it's, first off, it's such a shame that he's an and featuring, because he was like, he was a Ring of Honor Triple Crown champion, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
One of those guys that like succeeded everywhere but WWE.
Right.
It's like, and featuring.
Just as a something that I noticed while playing this, I'm still salty about not getting to drive the Mega.
I mean... And this would have been the time to do it.
This would have been the time to do it. This would have been the time.
And you know what? Not even drive it. If you were in the turret, like at the end of the Rannoch thing.
Turret section. Yes, sir. Yes,
I would have been fine with that.
100%.
Just give us something to do in the Mako for old time's sake.
Yes. And then have some wisecracks about how bad of a driver Shepard is. I think that would be
because given that it's an IFV akin to like the Bradley or the BMP series, like you could fit the whole squad in there.
Yeah, no.
The other thing that I would do in hindsight on this, and we might as well talk about hindsight with a lot of this, is that for this ending sequence, since it is a tunnel essentially to get to the ending cutscene,
Right.
is that you had this template in Mass Effect 2 where like there would be no wrong answers per se. It's more like the people you take dictate what everyone else does.
Right.
And they show up and like do something to clear a thing out of the way. For example, with the worm neck.
Right.
I forget what they're called. Have it where, because we didn't take Vega, have Vega and a squad of just big heavy weapons guys just start raining hellfire down to clear the way out, and then say, "You're clear, Commander, get it going."
Kind of show them doing stuff rather than like the like, you know, you imagine, obviously the thought process is that they are doing stuff, but you know, actually showing it would be, I think,
you know, other things that I would do, you know, have Ashley down here coordinating fire.
I would have,
Although those are Reapers, so
now,
once you clear them out, Ashley shows up and says, "All right, I'm going to establish a base of fire here. Let's see if we can clear this alleyway."
I would also, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying this as part of my Krogan fetish. I think having Rex on the radio going full Klingon, like,
Martok at the very end of DS9.
yes, going full Martok.
I'm having the time of my fucking life here.
Exactly. You know, he's been a mercenary. He's fought conflicts, whatever, but this is the first like big war. Like the Krogan are going on a war. The Krogan have gone full orc at this point and are just raining hell and are the only people involved in this that are having a good time.
So that would have been a thing, and then you get to a nice clearing where you got the Mako in, and you know, I would even go so far as to like, you know, pick another random. Jacob shows up. It was like, no, we've seen you drive.
Yeah. No, I think it would be perfectly fine. Jacob shows up, or whatever character you want shows up and goes, "You crash yet, Shepard?" Like, just.
I hadn't even taken the wheel yet. Good.
and then have another character ask about it.
Yeah.
You know, Samara could have chimed in with, "What is this about?" You know, something along those
No,
lines.
Samara's a situation where it's like, you got to see Samara taking down like 3 Banshees at once.
All I want to see from Samara is off in the distance, a biotic nuke goes off. Like, it's just...
That's Jack.
You see... yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Samara's more of an assassin, really. And Jack's the one that just... like, a whole Reaper goes up. Like, just...
You know, one thing... And it doesn't necessarily need to be on the all on the ground, either. I mean, I would have Miranda in a Cerberus fighter with a bunch of other ex-Cerberus people escorting the Normandy.
Absolutely.
So, it just... The whole thing of that, you know, a lot of people were like, well, I wanted to know how my old team was doing and during the whole ending controversy, which is a whole other show that we plan on doing at some point.
Exactly.
But, you know, I think, or it's one of those things where it's like,
Yes.
the
Always be
cutscene
fisting.
didn't do it for me. You know, if we were going to go down this road, I wanted everyone involved in this cannonball run.
You know, it's funny. My daughter and I actually talked about this today in video games, where you tell the story and you don't use cutscenes. You tell the story in the game.
The only reason that you use cutscenes is to do things that game mechanics cannot support.
Exactly, and having people, and they've already had people on the radio. So having people on the radio talking about stuff, that is they're perfectly capable of doing that. Having stuff fly by, and having our pilot in a fighter craft coming in behind them.
Oh, Steve.
Steve having Steve flying by, and somebody going, "Is that Steve?" And Steve's just going off.
like Randy Quaid in Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's cobbled together this monstrosity of death for him to fly. And it's just like they've slapped 2 gauze guns on it or whatever. And he's coming out just blazing. And somebody goes, "Is that Steve?" It could be Samara. That actually would be funny. "Is that Steve?"
Well, Samara never met Steve.
Exactly. That's perfectly fine. That's fine.
Anyway, so other hindsight stuff, because we got a long time to go before we start talking about our preliminary thoughts on the ending
Right.
portion of this. I mean, first off, gameplay and storytelling through environment.
Yes.
This sequence does a great job, particularly on harder difficulties, of telling how, of all the places to fight, of all the places to engage in open warfare, that a city is one of the worst possible things that you can do. And so, like, this whole setup actually really illustrates that. And I say that from a civilian perspective, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's a lot worse than this. Just, I mean, this is. Don't get me wrong. I think that this does a really good job of kind of I don't know how to term it. It does a really good job of showing, like, anybody that watches this is not going to be under the illusion that fighting in a city is
glamorous
or easy. And that's really, I feel like, all it needed to do. It does what it needs to do. I will put it at that. It does what it needs to do. It does what you want it to do. I think this scene, I think at this point of the game, if you've been, playing and you've really kind of mastered how to play the build, the Shepherd build, playing through here is manageable.
Another example of that is that it's not for our friend showing up, is that it wouldn't be those 2 brutes, it would be Jack.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, those are easy.
And then maybe there are brutes chasing her.
Yeah, or she comes off. She choke slams both of them off the top of a building. like it's like an Undertaker style choke slam, just, and sends them straight to hell. I mean, look. Here's the thing. You make your decisions and you run with them. And
speaking of decisions, this group is certainly about to make some.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would agree that this is wise, especially because they have no canes.
Yeah, not wise at all. But they don't have canes, but they do have a Krogan.
I mean, it's just like it's shown that these bastards are pretty tough, and you're trying to take it down with small arms. What the shit? And the consequences of your actions now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh. People are dying, but it's okay. I'm a Krogan. I can take it. No, you can't.
Yeah, I can't. Well, and obviously you have to have moments in this where they're really kind of showing the danger and just kind of the stakes of what's going on. But as a storyteller, you need to have a couple of beats of levity.
Mm-hmm.
First off, one of the things that most people miss about military operations is how dang funny they can be from like the people involved in it.
Well, what's the old saying? 90% boredom, 10% terror.
Something like that, yeah.
And boredom is filled by the time-honored tradition of shenanigans.
Yes, and gallows humor, and these are all things that are very near and dear to military folks' heart.
It is so bizarre to me that our secret weapon to tackle a destroyer here is a Scud missile.
Well, the thing about physics is that ultimately we have discovered that putting enough thrust behind enough explosives will in fact do the job.
Well, especially if it's an element 0 explosive, but
I mean,
yeah, it's more like all of the hyper advanced technology of the Mass Effect universe, and those trucks are carrying glorified Scuds. Not even like, they don't even look particularly advanced. They look basic bitch.
They do.
They look like they came out of Saddam's fucking warehouse.
They do. But no matter how advanced you get, a shotgun's still gonna hurt like fudge if it shoots you.
No, not really. It'll cause so much trauma you'll go into shock almost immediately if you don't die.
Fair point. But the physics behind rockets and missiles doesn't change. You put a ton of thrust behind an explosive and put it on a target, it's gonna do some damage.
Those have got to be, what, 10-ton missiles?
Yeah. No, I wasn't a munitions guy, but yeah, that's I would say about that.
And they are the length of one of those military grade 18-wheelers, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, they're the kind of things that like HIMARS are built off of.
Yeah.
And then there are them bitches.
Oh gods.
I hate them, and it is a good thing that I hate them. There's the everything about the Banshee is designed not to induce terror per se, but to get your attention and to say, "Oh shit, I gotta deal with you now."
I hate.
And obviously it doesn't show that well because again we were on normal difficulty, and when you've played through this trilogy, God knows how many times, you've got the tactics down pat, and you're not fighting for your life because everything's a bullet sponge.
Right.
But one of the reasons I love the Piranha shotgun, even at long range, is that you'll hit with at least one of those pellets. It's perfect even for a guy like you.
So I hate Banshees the same way that I hate MJF. In that I hate them, but I understand I'm supposed to hate them. And therefore I'm like, they're doing their job.
Yeah.
They're doing what they are. The enemy that they introduced, they're not into. I think they're only in they were a new enemy for this.
Yeah.
And they kind of combined a lot of things from other enemies, and a non-boss but still slightly harder enemy. They work great. I think they work perfectly fine.
Okay, that was just... I forgot that I did that when I was recording this. Where I was able to slide up and just be there where I need to go to hit the button.
Hood slide.
Why did you think that that again a Scud could make that shot that close?
Because not
Because I'm shooting at a building.
yeah, exactly.
And now we enter the big combat gauntlet where we have to survive in order to launch missiles 3 and 4.
Yep.
This is ostensibly the final boss encounter of the game. So I do appreciate that instead of there being a great big final boss, that it is a combat gauntlet instead.
Yeah. I appreciate that there were in Mass Effect 1 there was straight up bosses. Mm-hmm. In they kind of went away from that. You know, in Mass Effect 1 you had the
big plant thing.
The big plant thing, you had the matron, you had Saron, you know, you had bosses. And they, in this, you know, there are...
I had to actually punch that thing.
Of course. In going forward from there, it got more into the idea of this is a war. And yes, you have officers, you have commanders, you have, you know, but there's not really...
If a general is fighting on the ground with a rifle, the general did something wrong.
Yes.
Or they're a glory hog.
Yeah.
Which is doing something wrong.
Right. But you get my point in that they moved away from this idea of like the standard video game, we're going to have some bosses. Now it's much, you know, going forward, it was much more oh goodness. Oh,
I think I left this here because I had no good way to edit that.
I mean, that's fine. Look, here's the thing. It happens. It happens to the best of us. There's a, you know,
and then that fucker, who basically is the boss, but he's a proper boss in that he's this big, heavy thing that you really can't hurt.
Right, that you have to do something else to vanquish, that you have to do a special event. And I feel like going forward, the protagonists became more part of the story than like actual things you could fight per se. You know, Harbinger in 2, he
assume direct control.
Assuming direct control. He does that, but you never actually confront the little bastard. Just his proxies.
Yeah.
And so and yeah, you do kill a Reaper. You have a lot of help from a giant worm, from a giant sandworm. Thank you,
or from the largest navy in the galaxy.
Yeah. And so I feel like I feel like 1 is a lot more a traditional video game story formatting. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think 2 and 3 become much more of a boop. We have a story that we're telling, and you're playing in this story, but it's not a story about, you know, Bowser's in your castle, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
With a main villain at the end that you're going to beat.
I follow. And this would have been the time to pull out, like, for this encounter only, like, suddenly a Yogg Reaper. You know?
Yeah.
Or
a little bit more, a little bit more of a, not necessarily a boss creature, Which, of course, you did have in 2, by the way, because you had the Shadow Broker.
A land-based tank
Yeah.
character.
W-
A giant armored vehicle of some type.
something that we could, actually try to beat. I can see where you're going on that.
Or at the very least that you have to work around.
Yeah.
And, if you can't beat it, maybe you can trap it.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
So it just it's one of those things like the destroyer with its laser is kind of annoying to work around, and I appreciate the combat gauntlet elsewise, but
Yeah, no,
I wanted something aside from the destroyer beam. I didn't like
Yeah.
the destroyer beam. I didn't like this thing that I couldn't react to except its weapons fire.
Well,
I needed something that I could react to by maneuvering around it.
I hate those freaking beams.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do. The couple of times where you're faced directly by them and you have to maneuver around them, oh my gosh, I hate them so much.
Alright. Well, final boss is dead, and now we've got a great big old extended cutscene that we have to do some commentary on.
Indeed.
First off, great sequence right here.
Yes.
The whole
Fantastic sequence.
the whole all right, the door is open, we can bring in our trump card.
Yep.
Sort of thing. I also love the fact that it has its own escort fleet, that they're not just relying on the thing able to protect itself.
Right.
And that the escort fleet is not going to go off hog wild for it. And like do things. No, they are much like the Red Tails in World War II. They're going to stick with their bombers.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So
and the fact that there are no Reapers in the area shows that our initial thrust did its job too.
Well, I think that they established that, Reapers, I think they do a good job of establishing that Reapers are, very, very hard to kill. You can kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can die. They can be destroyed. And I feel like, see, here now. We get to ride in it, but we don't get to drive it.
Well, we don't get to drive in it for a very good reason.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're laying down, but still. This was the last chance, and they should have given it to us.
God damn it.
I would have rolled up in there like it was GTA 4.
That
Just slammed on the gas.
slammed on the gas, propositioned a hooker, bring her out to the beach, and then kill her and take all your money back.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's what you did in Grand Theft Auto 4
It's true.
and Vice City, which was a better game but had worse radio stations.
Oh, yeah.
Although I did appreciate that Vice City had licensed music for its radio stations.
Right? See, this is a bit of technology that interests me. That they have, because they have essentially teleporters.
What it is that it's the same technology as the mass relays themselves and the conduit. It's just on a significantly smaller scale.
Exactly.
No time to think about it. Just run. Sometimes this is what's called an assault, kids. That sometimes you got no choice except to run towards the enemy and not die. This is what Operation Overlord in 1944 or 45. When was 45 was D-Day? Yeah.
I believe so.
So, we call it D-Day. It was actually referred to as Operation Overlord. Anyway.
Oh no!
Looking for you. Oh shit!
Oh!
And bye, guys.
No!
Oof! And Shepard doing his jump over thing. Now, at one point I like this, but at the other point this is a huge point of contention for a lot of people. Which is where, Shepard is now doing the thing of calling in a medevac. And at this point it's like, the Normandy is supposed to be in orbit, but O is right there. How fast did it move? Fast enough to incinerate the atmosphere. Hi, welcome to Mass Effect. They can move that fast.
You know, yeah, so that never bothered me. I never thought about that. I never had that thought in my head at all.
It was one point of contention. I could also live with the Normandy being on station in atmosphere because, I mean, Reaper forces are concentrated in the UK.
I absolutely,
So, have it hang out over Ireland.
I guess I just gave them this storytelling, conceit that they're doing here.
Why Harbinger wasn't shooting at them, it's just like, guys, there's still a lot going on.
Right?
Yes, the Normandy's a big ship, but there's also a lot of people moving towards the thing, and a ship taking people away is not a huge concern, per se.
No.
I mean, so, like, I get it, but yeah, just, like, some token shots would have been called for. I mean...
Yep.
The whole sequence is, like, I get why, but it's not well planned, so...
Well, I mean, I get, at this point, I'm into it when I'm playing it, so I don't...
And that was Mass Effect 3, ladies and gentlemen.
I've played games that if you did shit wrong...
Their entire force was decimated.
At the end.
Point of contention. Our entire force was decimated. Oh, cool, only 10% losses. We're doing good. We got the shit kicked out of us.
Ow.
Also, that's not our gun. Where do we get this gun? I mean, it's important that it's the Carnifex. It's the gun that Morden gave us.
Gun button?
Button.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
button.
the real final bosses of Mass Effect.
Oh god, I hate these. Well, here's the thing. You start the game killing these guys, and the last things that you really get to quote-unquote fight are these guys.
And specifically, it's also kind of fitting that, like, humanity was brought into the greater galactic stage by killing Turians enough that Turians are going, we gotta respect these guys. And so, the actual last thing we get to kill is a goddamn Turian. We've been singing the praises of Prime Radiancy all throughout Mass Effect 3, I think even a little bit in 2, with their own playthrough with Trump, Biden, and Obama.
Oh, yes.
I love the fact that he set it up because the Biden character was clearing away, ready to win by 1 point. He set it up so that Biden lost to, not the Marauder, lost to one of those husks punking him at the very end.
So
and Trump and Obama going, no fucking way.
So when it comes to the husks, I believe that they are proof that BioWare could have done a really good survival horror movie or survival horror game.
Maybe
with them. Not even necessarily them. Well, now we have the Reapers doing what I felt like, given their shape, they should have been doing from the get-go, which is just grabbing onto shit.
Look.
And tearing it apart.
The safe word is pineapple.
Exactly.
So, what was the name of Hackett's flagship?
Oh, I think they did say it at some point, but I don't remember.
I mean, he's in a dreadnought. Dreadnoughts are named after mountains. So...
I have no idea.
Although, it's one of those things I would have taken a cruiser. He was in the Everest. So...
I was thinking of it when you said... it was a mountain. I was like,
I guess that's symbolic, isn't it?
Yeah, I was. There were two mountains I was going with, and one was the Olympus on Mars, and then the other was Everest.
So, I don't have any mechanical complaints about it. I mean, this is a long drawn out semi-interactive cutscene at this point.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
no, that's exactly what this is. And throughout this game, you've had these. Throughout the Mass Effect games, you have had these kind of playable cutscenes, if you
um,
will.
I do wish that it's one of those things where it's like the when they release control to the player and you're still limping along, I wouldn't have minded a forced walking pace, but the limp just drove me nuts, and I wish it's sort of like, I don't need to control
Yeah.
the game.
No, just I will just watch from here and then make decisions when you need me to decide. But yeah, I felt that way at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, where you're walking through the ship that's been blown up. That was kind of one of my.
But that was a very important pacing decision. You had to be there to see just what happened.
Oh,
and that this, I'm not sure that the pacing is there. And I will say also, in terms of environmental storytelling, love the fact that there are bodies piled up and all the things that are implicating them.
Yes.
In Mass Effect 2, they mention Bailey mentions that there are protein vats for the keepers to, one, be reconstituted and recloned, and probably also provide a food source for them, because they are biological creatures. So it's like, I wish that we had seen those vats.
Yeah, that could have
Or
been.
I wish that we also would have seen, because this is clearly supposed to be a Reaper assembly area as well, that like maybe they're trying to piece one or two together.
Yeah. Something along those lines. But
Yeah,
honestly,
not like almost finished or
Yeah.
battle worthy or anything. Just like they're just pieces.
yeah, honestly, I think that I think that at this point we're being a little nitpicky because I think overall I think this is a really good sequence.
It's the visual storytelling elements, things to add to kind of like the horror of all of the mechanisms that the Reapers had set up over the last several million years.
Right, right. I had kind of forgotten how this sequence goes. This last part, I had kind of.
And there's our boy Anderson, who I still cannot decide on a theme to give him, so I'm just going to demur. That's just how Daddy rolls.
That's perfectly fine. And we.
But it is interesting that this sequence is utterly fascinating, because BioWare did tease the idea of putting a boss fight in here. And I've heard everything from the elusive man would already be wildly transformed by the time you encounter him here, all the way to, and really he's already wildly transformed as he is, to like maybe you would see the metamorphosis, like in there was this comic book this Japanese comic book series called The Guyver, where
I know exactly. Yep.
human beings could turn into Power Rangers monsters, essentially. And I think a couple of those suits did wind up on the Power Rangers, now that I think
so.
about it.
I believe so. Jeb Bartlett, how far you have fallen. You know.
So it's the thing that I appreciate is that through the use of Reaper tech, he has proven that he can act as a node of control of indoctrination on a micro scale.
Right.
Now, we will find out that the only reason he has this ability is because the Reapers allow it.
Exactly. And if there's anything that makes humans so easy to manipulate, it's their own ego. It's that inability to imagine you're not the one in control.
But the whole thing about about the Elusive Man is that, I mean, he's been exposed to Reaper tech since the First Contact War.
Right.
It was established in a novel or in a comic book, I forget which, that his freaky deaky eyes are Reaper nanites basically replaced his eyeballs.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And yes, that kind of like did give him a bit of an understanding on stuff, but that also means that he was compromised from moment one.
Absolutely.
Which ultimately makes him tragic, because it's like, when did he actually lose control? Because there's a difference between being compromised and out of control.
Right. I'm kind of back and forth in it, because in the early games, they seem like just like a human-centric kind of bigoted organization that's wants 40K. They want humans to control the galaxy and everybody else to either be a slave or dead. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And then they slowly morph it, like they become better. They become like, wait a minute, no.
Human supremacy does not mean the genocide of every other race, but it does mean that we are in charge.
Right, and then they become much more practical and like, oh, why this? We got to be practical, and they start taking care of other humans, because they're like, if we're going to be human centric, we got to take care of humans too. So they start doing a lot of stuff, and I'm like, they were so bad that indoctrination made them better. Like, they were so intrinsically awful.
And yeah, that's always been kind of like the scary secret thing about ethno-supremacist groups, is that they portray themselves as being for some sort of greater good, and they sell you on it because look at all the good stuff we're doing. Certain German political parties in the 1920s and 30s, they got the public on their side through their youth programs.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is the Elusive Man is he's honestly in 2 very likable. In the second game, he's charismatic and he doesn't seem like a monster.
But here's the thing, and this is why I love portraying it like this, with how I interact with the Elusive Man, and why I portrayed our Commander Shepard in ways that might seem wildly inconsistent. But with here, it's, you can help me now.
Mm-hmm.
This is real now.
Right.
I am perfectly willing to make yesterday's enemies today's allies, because it is that important.
Mm-hmm.
And consistently treating him as a potential ally instead of shunning him allows this moral crisis that he is having. He understands that he has lost all control, and he is trying to do something about it but can't. And that's the thing that digs at him, until ultimately leading to this moment. God, I timed that well.
You did. That was excellently done. That was really. I let you cook on that one. I let you cook.
It's it ultimately is the exact same thing that happened, or could have happened in our case, because it didn't, because I played a couple of cards wrong, but could have happened with Saren.
Right.
I also like that it didn't happen with Saren with us, because it shows Saren as more fanatical to the truths that were revealed to him, whereas the Elusive Man is more fanatical to his beliefs than what he knows about the enemy.
Right.
So, oh, this is so goddamn cool.
And ultimately, the Elusive Man is
ultimately he is an ideologue.
He's an ideologue, but he's eminently human, because at no point until right at the end does he believe he's in the wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, what was that old saw that Winston Churchill said? America will always do the right thing once they've exhausted every other option.
Well, he's
Well, it's the same high-end philosophical diatribe that Churchill was known for.
right. But I don't think it's necessarily only true about Americans. I think it's a human quality. Is that humans believe that they're in the right up until the wrong bites them in the butt.
To the other point, I think it's a case of human beings will always want to play their options out. Will always want to see where things go. As the kids say, let things cook.
Right. I honestly think that this is one of my favorite scenes in the whole game.
Let's just take a moment to rest. And we have done our job.
And it is, first off, there is no,
Thank you, earned your rest.
I mean, soldiers don't die in bed. You don't get into Valhalla if
a soldier does die in bed, if a soldier does die in bed, though, he's earned it.
Right. But this is how soldiers go out. This is how sailors go out. This is how and it's a good death. It's a good one. And as an actor myself, who has never gotten the joy of having a good death on stage, I can say that story-wise, this is perfect.
And our job isn't done yet.
Well, of course not.
Admiral, I just sat down.
Well, of course not. Because the universe.
I've done all the dishes. I've done the laundry. I've taken the trash out, and now my spouse is telling me, "Oh, hon, one more thing."
The universe is conspiring against you.
No fucking shit.
Ultimately. And really, I feel like at the end of this game, you realize that the universe has been conspiring against you for the entirety of this story.
So, we are now at the part of the ending that caused such great fucking controversy that it literally led to a harassment campaign against BioWare, which I still view as one of the great unforgivable moments in gamer history.
Honestly, it was... yeah.
I'm not saying that complaints were invalid. What I am saying is that the reaction...
Yeah.
And the actions taken by fandom, often, quote, on behalf of the fandom, were out of control. And that is why I will always make fun of and dismiss the retake Mass Effect movement.
Oh my god.
It was horrible.
First off, I was perfectly fine with the ending. I liked the ending. I had no complaints. It's because I never felt like the story was mine. I never felt like I owned it. I just felt like I was on the ride.
So, you were always a bigger comic book fan than me.
Yeah.
But we both grew up when the Green Lantern Darkest Night story took place, which saw the original Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, go off the deep end.
Right.
To the point of killing the entire Green Lantern Corps and claiming all of the Green Lantern power for himself. And then this, art student, Kyle Rayner, I think it was, became the new Green Lantern, and Green Lantern comic book fans lost their shit.
Yes,
to
they did.
The point of there was newspaper articles all the way up to the New York Times, the American paper of record.
Yep.
Talking about how this was a tragedy and that DC must restore Hal Jordan to the one true Green Lantern, yada yada bullshit. Anyway, so that way, when I am dismissive and make fun of retake Mass Effect, that's my North Star. That is my how I feel about the retake movement and the fact that BioWare gave in to them, to this group,
Yeah.
claimed to speak for me as a Mass Effect fan, but did not have my consent to do so.
Yeah, I so, and we'll get to it at the end here. I was along for the ride, and I liked the ride. And my take on this like retake Mass Effect, and my whole take on those guys, is that there's a whole generation and a whole group of people that never learned I statements in school. They never learned how to say, "I don't like this." So when they don't like something, it becomes, "This is terrible. It must change." Instead of ownership of it, which means, which makes it more of a, I just didn't like it.
It also shows that a lot of people, for saying that they love narrative storytelling, have never, like, studied literature or drama. Because it's like, why is the Star Child here? Because it's representative of all of the people Shepard has never been able to save. Because, and I said this previously, children represent innocence.
You know what the ultimate reason why the Star Child is there is? Because that's what the writers wrote. Just go for the ride.
Why didn't Jack get up on the thing? Because the writers wrote that Jack was supposed to die.
Just go for the ride, folks. Just enjoy the ride.
Now the other like, oh god, I got so much crap to talk about with this sequence, because really everything up to this sequence is fine. Is perfectly fine. Now, taking the massive ex machina of having the Reaper, what this is that this is the Reaper's central core consciousness.
Right.
As a collective, speaking to Shepard and explaining the why of it.
Yes.
Okay? And there are elements of it that I absolutely dig. And probably the first big element is that, no, what the Reapers are doing does not make any logical sense. But that shows that the Reapers are flawed. And it shows that the Reapers, even though they are machines, because there is this break in logic and their programming and their whole methodology here, but they don't comprehend it because to them it's not a program, or to them it's not an error in their program. It's running how it's intended to, because ultimately my first big jobs were in IT. That's not true. My first big job was actually as a janitor, but my first professional jobs were in IT. And the thing is that machines are really, really smart at doing exactly what you tell them to. And in everything else, they are so goddamn dumb. And so the thing is that we can't impart the scientific method as humanity understands it onto the Reapers, because you can't really understand what we view as the scientific method to be completely universal. It works for us, and it hasn't been proven a faulty system so far. But for the Reapers, they do not understand that their involvement in the experiment that they have been running to try and solve the problem of general synthetic intelligence interacting with organic life, and the competition over resources that will naturally create tension with. They don't view their hand in resetting the experiment before it reaches culmination as a problem. That because the whole point is that they are programmed to preserve life, and so they have to, by their logic, intervene before organics become extinct when engaging in a war with synthetics. That breaks a proper experimental model.
Why are you telling me this?
But to them it doesn't, because they also have that overriding principle of preserving life, even if it means turning them into goo and then turning them into reapers.
So, to me, the Reapers are kind of what we imagine AI is going to turn into. And kind of what the AI we have now. It's like, if you look at the AI we have now, and then you can...
Accidentally turning them racist?
Yeah, you can extrapolate that down the line, the Reapers and that are related. You know, and instead of... because it's not really... I mean, it's intelligence, but it's not sentience. It's not really sentient.
But the Reapers will be
It's running a Edie is sentient. Edie is a sentient AI. She can contemplate her own existence.
I think you're confusing sentience with sapience. Sentience is an
she is both. And the Reapers are only one.
Yeah. What sentience has to do with an awareness of your environment and and having the ability to manipulate it. Sapience is that awareness of self and the ability to look inward and improve the self as well as the environment around you.
Well, I don't... Edie is a true life form. She's an artificial life form. She's made of she's a machine, but she is a life form in the sense that we understand life. The Geth could be seen as a life form, evolving, growing, learning, becoming better, reproducing, thinking of the self, thinking of them in relationship to others.
It's the whole difference between being able to experience stimuli around you versus being able to process it and understand it.
They have empathy.
Yeah.
To an extent. Whatever extent it is.
First off, Edie identifies as a she.
They have it. No, I was saying they as in the Geth and Edie. As in the group of them. The Geth have it limited, you know, but they have it. Edie, she definitely has it.
So, we've got 3, make that 4 decisions. BioWare did introduce the 4th decision to just reject the choice offered to us altogether. I think it's very clear where I'm going with this.
Very clear. Which I believe is going to be the, if I remember correctly, the hypothesis is that they're going to make this be the canon choice.
Provided that the Saudi government doesn't fuck with Mass Effect. Anyway. But I swear to God, they're going to make Liara wear a hijab the entire game.
No, but there definitely won't be any options for anything.
Women romancing
romancing other women. Or men romancing other men.
The theory of the case here for me and why Agatha Fisty would choose the destroy option is that the mission has always been destroy the Reapers.
Yep.
The mission has always been to take the Reapers off the board. They are a threat no matter what. So, to assume control of the Reapers is to allow it is to, first off, I gotta be honest, I don't trust the central consciousness of the Reapers that actually allows me to assume control. Because for all I know, they're just going to say, hey, you get to control the Reapers, and then they program your consciousness into just into a little subroutine that makes you think you're controlling them.
Yeah, no.
The other thing, and all the happily ever after therein, the synthesis ending is the idea that you've got weird consent issues. You've got, is this actually how it is done, or is this what the Reapers have, and the Leviathans before the Reapers always believed the solution was. It's not the solution that is chosen by the galaxy writ large. It is a solution that is imposed. And I believe that a true synthesis does not, that is chosen by the galaxy, probably would not reflect that choice, that outcome. The true synthesis is possible, but that doesn't mean that everyone's a weird little, like, nano cyborg or whatever.
Yeah,
Ultimately, what this is for me, just to finish my thought, to destroy the Reapers, despite the grave sacrifices involved, is to reject the Reapers' entire premise. More so than shooting the Star Child and thus, quote, rejecting the premise would be. Because even by rejecting the premise, you're still accepting the fact that the Reaper cycle is ultimately the right solution.
No, I am 100% on board with the idea of just offing the Reapers. Shepard is that's been the mission. That's the mission. And so Shepard,
that would be an absolutely pants-shitting moment, though. It's to see this giant red wave of energy just
right,
running at you. It's just like, goodbye.
but
I'm ready, Jesus. Take the wheel.
But I honestly like Shepard rejecting this idea of a higher, like, oh, there's all this, a higher moral thing going on, and Shepard just goes, no. I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Like, I'm gonna punch you because I'm Agatha goddamn Fisty.
I'm the baddest bitch in the galaxy, and I am about to prove it to you right now.
And now, that being said, the taking out of the Mass Effect relays is
that's a problem.
That's problematic. And now we're gonna go into the Dark Ages.
Well, apparently we're able to fix it up quite readily, though.
It's once we understand the technology.
But the thing is that the species did understand the technology, because what did Athea say? Yes. We should be building our own mass relays at this point.
Yes.
Which means that they know how to.
Yep. And absolutely. I think, so for me...
And think how much Element Zero is sitting in the Reapers right now.
Yeah.
Element Zero is about to become the cheapest thing in the universe.
For me, I'm not mad at any ending somebody chooses.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, for me, I think the synthesis ending, for me,
mm-hmm.
is the only way that you can keep some of those sentient AI, those truly sentient and sapient AIs, those life forms.
The Geth and Edie.
The Geth and Edie alive. And anybody else that's like them that you can imagine in the galaxy alive. And so that's my reasoning for the synthesis one, because I don't think that they should die for... But I'm also 100% on board with the wipe out all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that actually does make sense. Makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense for the character that we've been playing, that you've been with Agatha Fisty. That makes perfect sense. So,
we're the baddest bitch in the whole time, and we just punched the universe's gods.
Yep. And so I don't have a problem with that.
So the original ending, quote unquote, of the game was this part. Was you made your choice, the consequences play out before you, and you saw the Normandy crash land, and everyone And then, yeah, people depart and you kind of see what, to explore, for want of a better way to put it, the brave new world before you.
Right.
And I do love the fact that, Joker hops out, your romance partner hops out, and then the third person is sort of like whoever you interacted with the most throughout the trilogy, which usually winds up being either Garrus or the Vermeer survivor. And that is oftentimes dictated by romance options more than anything else. For us, it was Ashley.
Yep.
Not who I would have chosen, but I kind of like imagine that Garrus is in sickbay getting patched up because he took a Reaper to the face.
He's calibrating something.
So, but and then BioWare added this little PowerPoint show, which I'm not inherently offended by, and in any of them.
No,
I do think that I do think that the rejection and ending is really fascinating because you get to see Liara's little time capsule thing.
Absolutely.
But it was but this whole, like, first off, Lance Henriksen just being Lance Henriksen, please. There was a reason I started this episode with his speech, because Hackett is kind of like the ultimate person to say, we are in this brave new world sort of setup. And again, nothing about this is offensive.
No.
But it's like, if this was all it took for people who were so offended that they sent, like, death threats to the women involved in this, which indirectly kind of laid down the seeds for Gamergate. If they harassed people with poisoned cupcakes for A, B, and C.
They're my boys.
Yep. Yay for the Krogan! Yeah, if this is what it took to satiate the rabid animals at the gate, then they almost, in my mind, didn't deserve this.
So this is where I'm thinking. As you were talking, this is what I was thinking. I don't mind this. This is cool. I'm perfectly fine with this. What I'm not fine with is what transpired to give us this. I was fine with it because I beat it before this came out. I originally beat it on the original ending, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I was fine with it. I was like, this is where they want to end their story. It's their story. I'm just here for the ride. That's good. I can imagine in my head where the story goes from here, and I'm happy with that. This I'm also really happy with. But the reasoning behind why we got it, I'm not happy with.
Exactly.
Because I don't think fans should have. It's not your property. It's not your IP. Either like it or don't like it. If you don't like it, don't consume it.
What you're entitled to begins and ends at the point of sale.
You don't come to see one of my shows and then demand I perform the show the way you want me to perform it.
Well, I do, but I'm an asshole.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you are.
Dance for me, monkey.
But you don't go to Fiddler on the Roof and then scream, "No, you can't kick them out of town," and throw a fit.
Perform Cats.
Yeah, you don't. And so to me, I view entertainment that way. Either you like it or you don't. If you don't like it, then don't like it. And by the way, I'm perfectly fine with you saying you don't like it. That's perfectly fine. But learn how to say "I," for crying out loud. Stop thinking your opinion is reality when it comes to art.
Yeah, it's sort of like the whole idea of, well, that review wasn't objective. No review is objective, you fart knocker.
The only objective way to judge a piece of art is how much money it makes. That is the only objective. Everything else is subjective.
Well, and the thing is that, like, in the case of film. We don't know because there's this little thing called Hollywood accounting, and it's like
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm in the industry. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
So, that was Mass Effect 3. Let's take a little pause here to acknowledge Buzz Goddamn Aldrin.
This is my favorite part of the ending. That it's revealed that the whole thing was a story being told.
Yes, but some of the details have been lost.
You know why I love Buzz Aldrin? Aside from the fact that he is the last person alive to have ever walked on the moon,
I go to the stars.
I think the last person alive.
One day, my sweet.
He like in 2005 or 6
Anything
went to a guy in a hotel like office room for this newfangled thing, this new entertainment medium called a podcast. And, you know, it was, and he was told, hey, we're going to talk about your life, your career, the great things you did. And they start off smooth, talking about his war history, talking about the training for NASA. And then this guy had the audacity to go, now, you didn't really fly to the moon. You've been a big fraud for the last 45 years. And, you know, this is your chance to come clean to the American people and to the world. Buzz Aldrin, very politely, classy, took off his microphone, stood right up, and Agatha Fistied him in the fucking face.
And he did it not when the guy was calling him out, but he did it when he started calling the other people that Buzz worked with out. Because Buzz was not going to have his friends who have passed be questioned.
Because it was never about him.
Because that was the kind of... And I love this ending. I love that it's revealed. Because it means that and I wish that people that played this game and complain about it would focus on that part of the ending, so that they realize that all of the things that they hate and they get mad about are because it's a story being told. We don't, when somebody else tells a story, we don't question their story. We just listen and say whether or not we like the story. We don't go, you should change that. No. We just listen and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And that is what that was. The Mass Effect is a story. And it's probably one of the better video game stories.
Absolutely.
That have been done.
And that was our telling of it. The Ballad of Agatha Fisty. So, not much more else to say here, aside from the fact that the music in the credits is actually, like, kind of cool. It's a vibe.
Yeah,
it's not like something you rock out to. It's something it's something you pop a couple of gummies and just let it take you to the stars.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
Anyway, couple of cleanup announcements as we continue along. We have decided that there will be a news story taking place. We will be covering Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm going to begin recording that literally the day that this video goes live. So that's we're going to be recording that. I gotta figure out how to edit it because the open world structure kind of makes things weird.
It does a little bit,
but we'll figure that out. It'll be a journey we can all go on together. We are also going to do a few podcasts about other things in the Mass Effect trilogy playthrough. One, we're going to go much more in depth on the ending because that is its own show. I want to cover the multiplayer aspect of Mass Effect 3 and what did and did not work. And that plays a little bit into Andromeda as well. And there are a few things, some character studies. We have some friends who are also huge fans of this series that would probably be welcome for the character stuff as well.
Absolutely.
So there's more of this to come, but we are going to be taking an extended break while we get the opera of either Scott or Sarah writer. I haven't decided which one we're going to do.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to do Scott for that, so...
Yeah, I mean, I've never done Scott. I've always played it as Sarah.
Well, that confirms it then. We're going to be doing the opera of Scott Ryder to follow up the Ballad of Agatha Fisty.
Absolutely.
So,
wonderful.
But yeah, look forward to that probably the summer of 2026. So, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us today. If you liked what you saw, hit the like, hit the subscribes. You can follow me on Blue Sky at JP Arbiter. You have any socials like that you
I
can
don't actually.
You're smarter than me. But that's where you can get updates on Arbitration Studios and on the Chatterweb podcast for if you're a fan of the BattleTech MechWarrior franchise. And there's you got a movie coming out.
I do have a movie coming out this month. It is at the end of November. It's going to be out on the 28th. The title of the movie is Gingerbread Men. It's a fun
Christmas horror?
Christmas. No, it's just a straight Christmas movie. It's a straight Christmas movie. I play a villain, and it's silly and goofy and wonderful and happy, and I hope when people get a chance to see it, they go out and see it.
So anyway, look forward to that Gingerbread Man. So I'll make sure to promote that when I find it. So, yeah. I got nothing else to say. So until this summer when we make our way to the Andromeda Galaxy, I'm JP Arbiter.
And I'm Captain Jack. Deuces.
I should go. We'll bang, okay?